Hi everyone, welcome to our episode of Tackle Talk. On this episode we're going to talk about walleye today. Many of you who've fished with us in the past have probably noted that you've received a bulletin or a document called Tackle Talk in the mail. And that's in hopes of you having the right equipment when you get here to be able to fish for walleyes. So we put this video together today to summarize that and go over the basics of walleye fishing and what you should have to be successful in catching walleyes in the Sioux Lookout area. So to start with, we're gonna cover fishing rods. The fishing rods, there's everything from 5'6" to 7-foot rods is what we recommend. Personally, I fish with a 6'3". It's a specific walleye rod for jigging. You can go that route, or you can also go with the route of an all-around rod with a 6'6". The key is going to be to have something that's going to be strong enough to be able to have a good hook set, and then also to be finesse enough that you're going to feel a soft bite if the walleyes aren't hitting real hard. With a typical rod, you're looking for something that's fairly strong at the bottom end and fairly light at the tip. And so we would call that anywhere from medium light to medium action with fast or extra fast tip on it. This particular rod is a 7-footer. It's a pretty decent rod to be an all-around unit. And just as a demonstration for the rod that I use 6'3", it's a walleye specific rod. It's medium action with extra fast tip. Again, you feel those walleye bites really nice with that combination. There are 1-piece and 2-piece rods on the market, and in these days it doesn't really matter. It's a personal preference, and it's convenience if you have to travel to have a 2-piece rod. The 1-piece, it kind of stays in place, and it's probably a little more popular, but again, with travel, it will dictate what will work best for you. From the rod then, we're going to go to the reels. The important part of the reel is just really to match it with the rod. There are many reels on the marketplace. We deal with Flugers and Shimanos here at the lodge. On my walleye rod, I'm running a 30 series reel, and you'll see numbers like 30 or 25 or 40. Typically a 40 would be a northern pike size reel. A 30 and a 25 would be walleye size reels. And then you get into the micro reels, which are going to be too small. The key is to be able to match this reel size with the rod so you don't have it too heavy or too light. You want to be able to put enough line on, so minimum I would say would be 110 yards of line capacity on your reel. They all pretty much interchange the handles, so you just do that to your preference, whether you're left or right handed. The next topic we're going to deal with then is going to be that of the line that's going to go on the reel. Our recommendation is anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds. You could go a little bit lighter, but again, if you're going to have a big walleye and you set the hook with 60-pound tests, it might be a little bit of a strain. I use 8-pound all the time. If you go with 10-pound, it's more of an all-around. You can put that on a rod that you're going to use for pike and lake trout, and even up to 12-pound is fine. We carry a brand called Vicious. It's a great product. It's a copolymer line. Many lines on the marketplace these days, and it's just, there's a lot to choose from. We see a lot of people wanting to switch to braid, which is, it's a great line, don't get me wrong, there's no stretch, you get good hook sets. The only problem with braid is the visibility factor. So if you're going to use a braided line, you're going to have to, or we recommend that you would use a fluorocarbon leader tied to that line, either with a swivel. You can use small swivels to attach the lines, or you can just use a uni-to-uni knot to tie your braided line to your fluorocarbon leader. The leader is going to want to be about 36 inches, and then that way it allows you to have the strength of that braided line, but also have the no visibility factor for the walleye when you're tying your jig on. 99% of our fishermen were using lead head jigs, anywhere from a 1/4 ounce lead head jig to 3/8 and up to a 1/2 ounce if necessary. The lighter the better. That's the key for walleye fishing. But one of the important factors is that you have to be able to feel bottom, because you're using these jigs to get your bait down to the bottom. Walleye are going to hit very close to that bottom section of the lake, about a foot from the bottom up. So you have to be able to feel bottom. On a windier day or mid-summers when we're fishing deeper water, a little bit heavier jig, we tend to see more 3/8 ounce. If you can manage 1/4 ounce, I would recommend that. And when you're putting your jigs on, it's important to tie them straight onto your line and not actually have a leader or a swivel if you can avoid it. You will lose some jigs to pike, of course, but that will far outweigh the catch success using straight tie-ons versus using leaders. So the other factor to consider when you're choosing your jigs, and one that we get most often, I think, is more than just the size, is the color. There's a variety of colors. There's hundreds of them out there. Everybody has a preference. Our rule of thumb typically is on darker days you're going to use brighter colors, and on brighter days you'll use more natural colors. You can buy packaged jigs such as this. You can buy individuals. It's great to have a variety of jigs in your tackle box, and if you don't have any or have trouble finding them back home, sometimes it's tough to find these longer shank hooks. We've got a great assortment here. That's the basics of walleye fishing at Anderson's Lodge. There are many other techniques that we use that will just get you through what you need to, and that will ensure that you're going to catch some fish while you're here. There's times of the year where we may do a little bit of trolling. We do some work with plastics. There's fishing with now jigging wraps. There's many other techniques. This is only one aspect of it, but this is what we see for the majority of our fishermen, and this is the most successful for them. Well, that wraps it up for our walleye episode. We're going to be hosting other episodes that you'll see. Please subscribe below. It'll give you access to some tackle tips for northern pike, for smallmouth bass, for lake trout and muskie, the other species that we fish here, and many other videos that we're going to be adding to our YouTube channel as the days go on. We appreciate you watching and look forward to having you following us on YouTube.